I'm live.
All right, Shalom, give us 1 second. Baba Kasha, somebody check on GMS Chicago on their live too. And the eldest, is the eldest up? Check on the eldest too, Baba Kasha.
Yeah,
Start
GMS
here.
Chicago just clicked on.
Okay. All right, are we looking as we good? Yes, sir, let's cook.
Are we looking at y'all?
Machines are on.
It says live stream service.
Okay, come. Shalom, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. Tell them notice is down, brother. This shit aggravating. Shalom, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, all honor, and glory to God.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kabbalah.
Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops, salutations to all our fellow laborers that's doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The would-be judges, the 144,000, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, that have the appearance of the heathen, right? Jake, that are among the heathen, that have the appearance of the heathen, and the few aqua that are listening and learning. We say shalom. And I want to open with somebody grab Revelation 17:16.
Got it. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire."
Right. See, so the pride of Esau's, his pride has deceived him. And this thing with when you're looking at the global north and the global south, Russia is not a part of the global south, and neither is China. But China has control over much of the global south because of the rest of the Asian countries. And this at this point, man, it's beyond obvious that America, just like America was funding the genocide in Israel in Gaza, America was also funding through proxy this war in Ukraine. They were funding that whole thing, and then all kind of money that went over there and get funneled to who knows, only God knows whose bank accounts all that money really went to. All right, but it's a failed mission, and Russia has been winning all along, all whole time. The American media was reporting Russian losses, and none of that wasn't happening. Right, Russia, and so basically, what's happening is that America now, Trump is saying, well, that's a European problem. And so he's really going with that America first, and it's turning his, it's turning more and more allies against him. So what's going to happen is that more than likely, Ukraine is going to have to surrender into Russia. Russia's going to have their territory again, right? And the rest of and so Russia's going to let Ukraine deal with the other European nations the way that they are. European nations are starting to see that it doesn't benefit you to be linked up with America. Yeah, they're seeing that, all right, because you got to remember it was America that destroyed that pipeline in Germany, and the whole world knows it, right? They even hinted at it twice on live TV, right? Biden said it, and then he had that nigger woman that was always speaking for him. She said it. Okay, so just putting it all together here, and then we're gonna roll out with the scriptures. So what happens from there is that he's gonna allow Ukraine to deal with the rest of Europe, all right? But Europe is not really backing Ukraine, and America's not backing Ukraine, right? So Ukraine just kind of got left out there to Russia, and so it's just leaving a bad taste in everyone's mouth, and eventually Ukraine and the rest of those, because it doesn't benefit Europe, but it benefits the BRICS, and so the nations over there, Europe, NATO and EU are at each other's throat. NATO is falling apart. The EU is falling apart. And like I said, and they're saying that it's not beneficial, because one thing that they will never allow Ukraine to do is have autonomous wealth. All right, they're gonna, all their wealth is gonna be transferred and controlled through Russia and through the BRICS nations, man. As simple as that.
And here's these headlines.
Absolutely.
This is just putting in Europe becoming disenchanted with America just to see, because I've heard a lot, and I just want to see what's going to pop up. I'm not going to go into any of these articles. You can look at it yourself and see some headlines. In a new poll, Europeans express little faith in America's future influence. That was on German Marshall Fund, US.org. From Quora.com. Why do Europeans put down the US so much, despite benefiting massively from blah, 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 blah?
Well, see, back then it did profit them because it says about the EU, right? The EU, the European Trade Union, was basically meant for those that made the Treaty of Rome, which is the collective rulership. Now that everybody's pockets are tight, now that everybody owes everybody, there's no need for this old union. There's zero benefits to this friendship, because here it is, you got America saying, hey, those countries have to pay their wealth, when really the basis of those people even going into alliance with America was to receive that money.
Exactly.
Like, don't you understand that Obadiah 1 is going to come to pass, man?
Go ahead and read it. Everybody grab it.
Yeah.
Obadiah 1 started, just want to go to a point.
You start at 1 because basically it's going to say that all these things have to come to pass, right? It says the Lord's going to send an ambassador to stir up the nations. So all this have to happen. Proverbs 21, the heart of the king is in the hand of Yahweh. So everything that's happening is for the collective end that has to come.
Okay, here you go. Obadiah 1 and 1 there. The vision of Obadiah. Thus says Lord Power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise you, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
These are what being greatly despised, man.
Right. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, that thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that have said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, says Yahweh. If these came to thee, and robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Will not they have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Could you do me a favor, so I can go to verse 1 again?
Okay. The vision of Obadiah. Thus says Lord Power concerning Edom. We have heard a
Concerning Edom, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man.
I do mean.
All right, this is the so-called white people, and that also
Caucasians.
includes so-called Israelis because they're so-called white people. All right,
They're Edomites too.
that's right.
The Russians. They Edomites too.
Yeah, and even Turkey.
Right. Every nation on the earth has a biblical nationality, and the basis of men, which is Esau, Edom, the wicked, right? The self-proclaimed white man,
the base,
and the heads of them being the so-called JOOS's, right? They are the Edomites. They are Esau, Edom in the Bible. So this is concerning them, what the Elder Bro is reading.
That's right. No matter if they on the surface, somebody will say Russia is different from the Israelis, who's different from the Europeans, who's different from America. According to the scriptures, they all Edomites.
Yeah,
You're right. The Russians are not Japhet, as
some
people.
fools.
Some people are very ignorantly and fraudulently push that. The Russians are not. They're in that land. They're in Japheth's land.
True.
The Japheth's land was taken over by Esau.
That's right.
All right, and the Bible tells you that.
Yep.
And if you don't know that, then that means you really don't know the Bible as well as you think you do, and you should probably just be quiet and take notes.
Yeah.
Continue to read, brother.
Okay. If these back to verse 5.
No. It was a little bit more.
Okay. On the top part. Okay. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, an ambassador is sent among the heathen.
So that rumor, that's a report, that's some news, all right, that from the Heavenly Father, that an ambassador was going to a messenger. Who does the Lord send to deal with these other nations? He didn't send no convoy of some Edomites or some regular old folks. He sent angelic forces over there, all right? And the Lord is sending angels over to the different nations, and in their councils and in their minds and in their dealings within themselves and then the American nations, the Lord is stirring all kind of trouble You wanted to see why the BRICS did what the BRICS are doing, why America's doing what America's doing, and why the conflict is coming with World War III. The Lord set it up.
Yep.
All right.
I got a precept for you.
Bible question.
Back up, this is Daniel 10. And I just read to the point. This is verse 13. But the prince, this is Yahweh Shah speaking. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia will still be 120 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me. I remained there with the kings of Persia. All right, so the Lord, just like when you read 1 Kings 22, he sends out the different angels to work on the mind. At this point, whatever spirits was being sent out, the king of Persia didn't fall prey to those, but when he sent Michael, that was the one to fall to. Not as if he was the will of the Lord. That's just how it was planned out. Any fucking way.
That's right.
All right, but it just shows that the angels goes works on the minds of the people.
That's right. And then there's some people who resist, and then the Lord said, "Oh," and which Lord knew what it was, like you said. See, not the Lord. You can't pull the wool over Yahweh's eyes, man. Everything is set up 100. Everything happens right at the proper second and millisecond that the Lord of His plan. Nothing can go around the Lord's plan, man.
Yeah.
All right. That's why the Spirit wanted to go jump up, just to show you that you want to know why these allies are dropping, because the Lord set them, exposing Esau and all his tricks. For years, people have sat at the table with Esau, hearing all his bullshit, falling for eating his shit up. Why? Because he saw Esau had the goddamn power. But then they start seeing inconsistencies. They start seeing, wait a minute, he's saying this, but then he's doing that.
Yeah.
Then he said, we can't do this, but he do that. And then we set up a whole court. He don't honor the court. He set up this, he set up that. It's like
The missing gold is creating a problem too.
Yes.
Right. That's creating another problem. That missing gold, because Trump, went to and people can tell you, it's one thing, people talking shit about Alex Jones, but Alex Jones been spot on with a lot of shit. All right. And that was one of the things that he was saying years ago, that there was no gold in Fort Knox, or most of the gold was missing. And it turns out that seems to be true. Like, there's a problem. And these nations want their gold back, and America don't have it. So that means somebody took it. And who was it? Well, the JOOs,
Right.
the small hats.
Well,
Started with the Rothschild family, the Rockefellers here in America, which are Rothschilds.
That's right.
Same families.
Well,
They just name is different here. They changed the name to Rockefeller here in America. But the Rockefellers are Rothschilds, in case you didn't know that.
like you said, Trump is calling for that gold to be checked at Fort Knox.
That's right.
So we in some interesting times. I got two more for that point. It's Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. And we know, because Zephaniah 3 ain't another prophecy, and the Lord's will is World War III.
Oh,
So in World War III, just like World War I and World War II, other heathen nations joined in, but essentially it was Revelation 6th chapter. It was the red horse with that great sword fighting one another. So we see these talks of Zelensky talking about the European army, America, sticking with America first, going to the world stage before the European allies are saying the problem with Europe is, the biggest problem with Europe is Europe. They're like, you not getting on board with what the fuck America wants to do. That's y'all problem. All right, not America. A lot of these different countries, they do what's the biggest threat or whatever, and they're saying America. All right, so the times are changing. Where the Europeans, they're like, look, we need to unite ourselves, get off this America first thing. We need to do what we need to do for us.
and that's exactly what I say. Even in Canada, 27% of Canadians see the U.S. as an enemy. Matter of fact, I'm gonna click.
Oh yeah, that brawl in Canada, the brother posted the clip of the fight.
Yeah.
But what sparked it was the fact that the Canadians was born after the American national anthem. They
What?
they're pissed off because of the tariffs. So I ended up looking up, I seen a news clip, and the statement started off.
It was a hockey game. What was
Yeah.
it? So
Yeah.
Canada. I thought I got a glimpse of it. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, so the tariffs is making these tensions crazy with American allies. But that's prophecy. That's James 5. James 5 goes into the gold and canker, which they don't use gold anymore. But if proverbial gold and silver being cankered and rust over, as a witness, then it says what? It shall eat thee as with fire.
That's right, bro.
All right. So America's broke, and they scrambling to make some money to cover their little debts they can't cover. All right. And what's their solution? Tariffs. And that's doing what? Making these fucking heathens as allies hate them. Bringing us right to Revelation 17. And I just want to read this, but it's another verse down I want to read.
Revelation 17. Well, you know what? Hold that. I want you to read that after this 41-second video. It's perfect. This is more than a quarter of Canadians see the U.S. as an enemy. This is YouTube on CTV. So I guess it's Canada. I guess it's Canada
American
TV.
products.
So here we go.
Do not buy new windows in English, Illinois.
Of course.
Americans living in zip codes
Always trying to make money.
60, 61
Shut the fuck up.
poll suggests that more than a quarter of Canadians, 27%, now see the United States as
It's
an
not charging.
enemy
It's not
country,
charging.
while another 30% still say
Even better
this is the United States an ally. Another 27% of respondents to the prejudice survey says they consider the United States to be a neutral country. Poll says the United States President Donald Trump threatens to impose economically devastating tariffs on Canada and has repeatedly pushed the idea that our country should become a U.S. state. The poll was conducted between February 14th and 17th, surveying 1,500 Canadians and 1,000 Americans since conducted online. It can't be assigned a margin of error.
So this man is ready to jack Gaza. He's ready to jack Canada.
Really?
And so the Canada, right? So you need to be another Canadian state. So the Canadians took, them Edomites up there proud, man.
They're collectively striking. Man.
And so it's
Yeah, well,
and Canada ain't never really been no bitch niggas, man. A lot of great fighters come out of Canada, So GSP, boy, you're right, and a whole slew of them. All right.
well, Trump seeing this as a land grab opportunity for himself because, like I say, if he can get part of that Gaza Strip and he get part of Canada and whatnot and build his hotels, the hotels and all that shit on that. When see, he'd already defrauded the government of $8.86 billion in fucking bankruptcies and this, that, and the other. So now if he can go on and grab that up and build some shit over there, he can declare bankruptcy one more time and be a trillionaire and say, "Hey,
you just gonna build some on somebody else's home where they've been." Now, granted, speaking of Gaza, that's not their real home.
Exactly.
But but they have been there for what, about 600-700 years now. All right, so, ever since Muhammad.
Right.
All right, and you just gonna move in, and you not from there, and everybody knows that you're not from there. Everybody knows that you came from the area of Donetsk, Ukraine, Russia, Georgia, that whole area. That's where you came from. That was the Khazarian Empire. All right, and that's not conspiracy. That's that's facts. Right. And it's a conspiracy that that you conspired to go over there and lying about who you are. Yes, it is a conspiracy, but it's not. But is it a theory? Hell to the no. It's fucking facts. So it's not a conspiracy theory. It's conspiracy facts.
He became Native American to be able to build his Trump towers. I mean Trump casinos and shit on fucking native land. And it's that so he'll pull every fucking land grab that he can get his hands on.
But he said I benefit off the same tax laws as the people that he clean was trying to, protect. Exactly. He never lied about it.
Yeah. Hey, the laws are set up this way. I can run it up to this and pawn it off to the American government.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, Stephen. Here's when you look at all that. They're talking about cleaning out the swamp, getting rid of, all. They just fired another.
300,000.
They just fired another 300,000 federal workers, and they just fired another general,
right.
Air Force general, who had 4 decades of service. They got rid of him, and
Make him look stupid.
That's it.
Yeah, and it's pretty bad, man. And they're doing all this to no benefit.
Right.
I mean, it's all to no benefit, man. Except for causing more tension.
Right.
More people in that insurrection spirit. All right. And so we were talking about Canada. They are also planning on going down into Mexico to go after the cartels, and the Mexican president said, "Nah, you ain't. They know America's coming in here." And then, as we spoke about yesterday in the lesson, it turns out that all the military You know, them cartels. A lot of them guys are military trained with military tactics,
seal.
and they showed you that in Snowfall, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But it turns out that the leaders, I mean the guys that are head over there, their military units are all former U.S. soldiers, Special Forces, SEALs, Delta Force, and shit like that, man. American military has taught these cartels, man.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So and some of them even came here to America and learned at, I believe it was Fort Bragg or one of these army forts where these special forces guys trained. So America is talking about stopping the drug trade. You're the one that sent all the damn drugs in here. Well, that mean that showed you that in Snowfall. What was that movie? Don't Kill the Messenger. When the journalist exposed what was the dude's name? Jeremy Renner, I think, the dude that played Hawkeye.
Yeah.
He played a reporter that exposed that the CIA was behind the drug trade. The U.S. government was behind the cocaine that was coming in. That started all the. And then they docked it up. They created crack, and then all the gang wars and all the craziness that went on in all the major cities.
Right.
In L.A. and Chicago was a fucking bloodbath.
Right.
When that crack shit, because they broke up all the gangs, and you know, and so the U.S. government is responsible for that.
Exactly.
Right, and then they made money hand over fist, locking up people up, and they created a whole generation of what they call crack babies. All right.
What was the Iran-Contra scandal and all that
same shit?
All of that. That's I was telling Giant a couple weeks ago when we was over here doing a sit down how all this shit was linking up. How motherfuckers had these boats with the motherfucking black tops on them. They'd run that shit into a certain point, and then when the U.S. Coast Guard and shit would show up, they'd cover the fucking top up and whatnot, kill the motherfucking motor. They ain't got no motion, they ain't got no sound shit. Motherfucker fly right over, but they in the middle of the motherfucking dog with a black top over the fucking top end of a speedboat.
Yeah, so they
started selling fucking Russian 2-man and 3-man subs and shit.
You had Oliver North, all in the middle of that, because I was actually in the Marine Corps when that was going on. Right, and it was trying to figure it out. What the hell is this all about?
In Colorado, when they exposed it, that basically there was that same Cuban general.
And he took the fall for that, by the way.
Absolutely.
Oliver North did.
Right, and they made him a hero. And now he's a commentator on Fox, man.
Yeah, they made him the fall guy for that, too.
Hey, made him a fall guy. Made him fall back for a couple of years. I remember looking up like about 91, 92, and they was having a motherfucking press conference. That motherfucker was part of the CIA Special Services in the background, suited up, motherfucking earphone in his fucking ear. I'm like, look at this motherfucker.
Look at the colonel now.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think they
well, he's got a talk show now?
Yeah,
He
Oliver North had
he has a show on Fox. He's a commentator. He has a whole fucking show.
And a whole show. And this guy supposed to be a traitor.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He said,
because he protected the then president and all, and he protected all the white people, and he protected the CIA.
He took the fall.
Because we said we live in a society where the so-called white man has to have, you know, the appearance of upholding the law. That's one of my favorite lines from the movie Gangs in New York, when the mayor talks to Bill the Butcher, and he wanted him to kill that sheriff, that Irish sheriff, all right? And Bill the Butcher was like, why don't you get your crushers to do it? The crushers were the police, by the way.
Right.
Because the gang of crushers became the police department. So America's police departments, America's fire departments were all gang related. They all started with gangs. Just so in case you didn't know.
Okay.
That's their history. So they and so he told Bill, I can't have the crushers do it. No, he said, when he said, why don't you have your crushers do it? He didn't call them the police department. He said your crushers. He said, why don't you have the crushers do it? And the mayor said, I can't have the police do it. He said the law must have the appearance to be upheld at the highest, especially as we're breaking it.
Right?
So Bill sighed and you know, and
Message.
he went right. So Bill went and did the deed when he killed the sheriff.
All right. Himself as the angel of light.
Exactly.
There it is.
What he says, what the top of the second chapter, the wicked thought. He says, well, our strength be law with justice. That's what Esau does, man. He puts on this facade of carrying on the laws, but really he's the biggest criminal. Man.
Yeah.
Right.
It,
policies that cause
Prosper. Yeah.
absolutely. And he was talking about that tax thing, how Trump said he was using the same tax laws. Well, the Federal Reserve operates its whole operation is unconstitutional.
Exactly.
It's completely and totally unconstitutional. So if you want to start getting rid of things that because all of a sudden they're saying that he violated, he shouldn't be the president, and he's getting rid of all these things. It was, well, you know what? Guess what? Well, the Federal Reserve. Although he is talking about removing the IRS, all right, but nevertheless, yeah, the IRS operates in violation of constitutional law. So America is used because a lot of these Democrats are complaining about Trump violating constitutional law and all that shit. It's like, but there's been things operating in your country that operate Title 40 child support. There's plenty of things that operate outside of the law of the land. So why you complaining now?
That's it. And if I may, I got a couple scriptures.
Bring them out, brother.
Yeah, because all this is signs of the times.
Okay.
And we as the Watchmen, we have to report on these things and warn you and tell you, right? And lead in the way of righteousness so you can escape, these things and ultimately the wrath of the Lord to come, which we of course know only the elect, is going to give heed and have faith in the truth and
be willing to lose their life in the process. So.
Get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But let me get this Job chapter 5, and I'll start at verse 12, and I'm going to read it in the NLT. So it says, he frustrates the plans of schemers, so the work of their hands will not succeed. So the plans of the wicked that's ruling right now, all right, namely the international bankers,
Schemers.
They're schemers in their plan to get to one world government of wickedness, a new world order in wickedness, all right, where everyone is CHIPPED, all right, with that MOTB. That's their ultimate agenda to play God. All right, and so they're gradually getting to their ultimate agenda by all the things that's going on today that we're reporting on, right?
All roads lead to it.
That's it. So it says he frustrates the plans of schemers. So understand that the schemers, the wicked that's in power right now, they have a plan, right? And so it says he frustrates the plans of the schemers, so the works of their hands will not succeed. So they're only going to get so far, yet they will get so far, right? This is 13. He traps the wise in their own cleverness, so their cunning schemes are thwarted. So their ultimate agenda, all right, is going to ultimately be thwarted, but they're going to reach so far. Now, in this Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17, it says, son of man, I have made thee a watchman to the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning for me. And so we are watching. We're watching the signs of the times and everything that's going on in the world, because this present temporal evil world was given a time, a bounds that it cannot pass. So once we are seeing all these different signs, all these different prophecies, it says, well, know that the end is not, all right? Because it says, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told you before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So first, the plans of the wicked, before they get thwarted, they have to be exposed. All right. And it's going to be the watchman that understands these things, because they have
to set their plan in motion. They have to actually implement their plan.
Yes.
Right? So once they implement it, that's it.
And then here it is. We're telling you what they're going to implement. All right. We're giving you the schemes of the schemers. All right. We're telling you what they're about to do. All right. And ultimately, it's to get before they do it. And so these are all the signs. These are all the prophecies. And the watchmen are looking at these things going on all over the world, and we're reporting it on, to you guys and
today live.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. And filtered it through the scriptures, and saying, hey, this is what thus saith the Lord.
It was crazy. I watched the video, and it was the Edomite saying, it's the members of the Black and Hispanic community that's been telling us these things.
Yeah, I saw that
I
video.
seen that.
He was like, he was talking about us.
He said they've been.
Yeah.
He said they,
Trump talks about the prophets of doom.
Right.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that was it. And so that's what we're ultimately talking about, the doom of the place that was given over unto the wicked, where that's all they're about. So my last scripture, the second Ezra 15 and 5, it says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Doom. All right. Doom to a place that was given over unto the wicked.
Well, it
Hebrew?
tells you above, if you go a couple of verses, it basically tells you what it says that you read up.
Yeah. I can start at verse 1 if you want.
Go ahead. I was gonna say that first. You said.
Yeah. Second Ezra 15 and 1. It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the
All the
word. Speak in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Right, that Romans 3:3, it says, shall their unbelief make the truth they have without effect? Yeah.
Right.
It's
That's it.
Isaiah 54:17. So none of the weapons and none of the schemes, none of the things that they do against us, anyone that speaks against us,
That's it.
is going to all reverse on them. Man.
That's
It's
it.
not going to work. So, they're going to try to shame us and defame us and all that, and none of it's going to work, man. It's gonna, the more they speak about us and the more that they talk about us, the more exposed that they're going to be.
That's it.
Eventually, that's what happens.
That's it. And of course, they're going to shame us and demonize us because we're exposing their ultimate agenda. You know, when somebody's getting exposed, especially somebody in power, whoever is doing the exposing, the ones that's in power, they go ahead and try to, demonize those. So
we watched that. That's been a standard in America the last 20 years. Every time someone blows a whistle and look what they're doing. They're breaking the law. They're hurting people.
They become
They come and grab them.
They become the infamous in this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, and what Edward Snowden and a whole slew of others, man. The Julian Assange dude, they pointed out crimes against humanity that was being done by the Democratic Party, and Clinton and what was what was that dude's name? The vice president that blasted the dude with the shotgun. Cheney.
God knows.
But it was an accident.
God,
I aimed the shotgun at your face and shot you.
started the shit out of me.
Right.
whoops! Oh, my bad.
Exactly.
I have no shotgun etiquette.
Also, don't forget, you got advancements in artillery.
God knows.
So the point being though is that that group, that administration was guilty of so many things. All right, just like Benjamin Netanyahu is now a wanted war criminal.
Bring it up.
All right.
So it's Bush and change.
They were on that list with some people too, but nevertheless,
George Bush can't even
there
hurt
was
them.
never any there was never any recompense for them for those things.
Yeah.
Because they're part of the elites.
Exactly.
So they're protected.
Right.
You seen his golf swing?
I have precept real quick.
Bring it out.
And I still want to go into that article.
This because we saw that there was a covering that's false. Stole a whole nation's heritage. He's propping himself up to beat something he's not. And now in the town where the Lord is exposed.
Now he's the cops, and like I told you, the gangs in New York. That's how that's how their fire department and their police department started. With the gangs. Right? Why do you think they walk around with police issue brass knuckles?
Brass knuckles, blackjacks, that shit.
They were straight. They were thugs. And guess what? They still are.
That's what the black guy
They still are. I got a whole article about a video that I actually wanted to play. About how they're getting ready to give them. They're already putting the steps into motion that they have objective immunity.
Yeah,
so they can just get away and do it. And the objective immunity for cops who've been in trouble for breaking laws or getting fired from the police departments, and how they just go to other police departments and get hired right back.
They just got rid of.
So because maybe I'm just gonna be bold enough to say it. You know what America needs to do is maybe you just need to get rid of all your white police officers. Because that's where you're I would say about 98% of your issues are coming from. So maybe they just shouldn't allow white males to become police officers. Maybe you'll have a better police force.
Really?
Just
There'll be a
just
lot more dead cops if that happens.
uh,
If they find out, that's gonna cause an uproar. Because it's already, I seen a video of niggas shooting at the police.
I mean,
They was trying to open the cop door, and the cop was trying to pull his shots. Like
it's their time now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
they've
their
done
time now.
it for years.
And the police been doing it to people for
Yeah,
years.
because you hear about this stuff like that.
But they got the law on their side.
Yeah.
And I've heard cops say that we got the biggest. I've heard them say
The
that
biggest gang.
we got the biggest gang. We got the law on our side.
Yeah,
Our
they-
gang is the biggest gang.
Yeah,
I've heard them say it with their own lips. Finish
This
this.
Isaiah 44 and 25. I'm gonna read it in NLT. I expose the false prophets as liars and make fools of fortune tellers. I cause the wise to give them advice, and prove them to be fools. So Esau, he's doing all these communion with Satan, and Satan is sending his ass off. And also declaring the Lord is going to stand. Go back and just the word of the Lord.
God, yeah, all of the, we keep telling you, all them evil messages that they pray to actually work for the Lord, man.
Gotcha, bitch. Can I read some of this?
Shit, in Isaiah 47, when it says,
Huh.
worry thyself in thy enchantments, because guess what? They can do it till the cows come home and it's not going to profit them.
That's right. This is from the World Economic Forum. Geographies in depth. Something is ailing Europe. Experts and leaders at Davos offered up remedies. So this is behind the scenes. This group that's not American, but influence American politics.
And control a lot, along with them NGOs, and most of them are JOOs too.
Yep.
All right, just so you know.
All right. So this is an article from the World Economic Forum, and I'm just going straight to the cut. For a long time, according to Politico editor Jamil Andolini, Europe made three big bets: Russia for cheap energy, China for big open markets,
China.
and America for security. Now remember that America was behind the pipeline that we got from Russia to Europe, and they try to blame Russia as they will blow up their own cash
shit.
cow,
Yeah.
or as Europe will blow up their own necessity for cheap oil. Only person who would be a culprit would be America, right?
Well, like I said, they kind of hinted. The president out of his own mouth and his speaker, they both kind of hinted at it that something was going to happen to the pipeline.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then it happened.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Oh,
So it says
my bad.
Russia.
And then there were independent researchers too that went down and found the evidence of the
right.
explosive, and they were American.
Maybe,
So
right.
there you go.
Yeah.
So it says these bets paid off for a while and are now big losing bets. The acknowledgement of an uncomfortable new reality was threaded throughout the many European-focused portions of this year's meeting. Between 2019 and 2024, the EU economy grew at roughly half the pace of the U.S. Now, don't forget, the European Union is damn near at least $1 billion if you look at all of them.
Yeah, the Treaty of Rome.
And then you look at America, we only got 330 million. So how is this bigger empire producing less than what even America does?
And subservient, taking a knee to America while getting a bad deal.
Wars are always economic starting out.
And that's why America got bases over there.
That's right. It said the U.S. economy grew at roughly half the pace of the U.S. Only about a quarter of the chief economists surveyed recently by the forum think Europe will see moderate or stronger growth this year. I mean, this is not happening. Compared with more than half of the economists when it comes to China, and 3/4 when it comes to the Middle East and North Africa, which are all part of the BRICS nations. They're doing very well. All right. Leaders and experts convening in Davos had no shortage of prescriptions for the region to regain its competitive edge in a changing world. Those changes include a new administration in the U.S., which seems inclined to make a traditionally warm relationship that they usually had less so. It's not as warm no more. The EU treats us very, very unfairly, freshly inaugurated U.S. President Donald Trump said during his remote Davos address. New U.S. tariffs on European imports now seem likely. It's unclear whether the task force assembled to prep the EU for the new American leadership accounted for such a quick change in tenor. The more nuanced relationship with the U.S. comes at the same time Europe is faced with a lingering energy crisis as it weans itself from Russian supplies. a chronic dependence on Chinese imports, and what experts say is a financial system that's far less integrated than many outsiders might assume. And why? Because they dealing in there with America and this dollar. It's dead.
And that's another thing too. When the dollar dies, which is practically dead now,
Yeah.
all right, most of these European empires are going to collapse and be in total chaos, and then people are going to be very angry. And the Europeans, they riot, they go out there.
That's right.
And now you understand. And then and most of those European governments have disarmed their population for the most part.
Yeah.
What you have to understand is that when that happens here, and it will, and it could happen soon. It could happen any day now. All right. I'm still hoping that what Colonel McGregor said last week or the week before last is true. He said he expects. No, he said he expects Israel to be at war with Iran, and the war drums will beat him because Iran, it looks like they may strike first. They're not going to wait for Israel.
Right.
Because Israel keeps threatening and threatening and threatening. And so Iran is actually getting, and they haven't forgot about General Soleimani.
Yep.
All right. And Trump's back in office. So, so Iran may strike first. And that's another, and I don't know why Israel talking all that shit, because Iran are 73% of their shitty arms went through the Iron Dome. So we've been told my whole life.
Right.
I'm thinking this Iron Dome is just the shit.
Right.
All right.
Foolproof.
And basically, it couldn't even stop rocks on that day.
Let us put it to the
Israel
test.
going,
Exactly.
Right.
Let's see if this truly is
that same little thunder effect when everybody starts, when those muscles start going through. Well, that's the thing they said. If they overwhelm that force field, they can penetrate it.
Yeah, and so Iran has already proved that they can more 73% of their
Hit what they want.
of their things hit
Iron.
Exactly.
glass.
So and they didn't even shoot the good shit.
Right.
Right.
All the bullshit.
They threw all the
They-
whole
they-
shit.
they-
They threw the whole shit.
Yeah, exactly. They sent they bullshit.
to make the West
And
waste
then
that
basically they sent the message, and they showed the whole world that. And now America's talking about the Iron Dome. Israel's Iron Dome didn't work.
That's right.
All right, it didn't work, and it's not going to work, and it's not going to save them. And they were talking all that shit. And so if Iran, which eventually, because that prophecy is in the Bible about the dragons of Arabia.
So sit
And
with
now
them.
Jordan and the Saudis are also got enmity with the Israelis right now, and so do the Egyptians.
Right.
So so basically, if you look at that map, they're completely and totally surrounded by people who are at odds with them,
That's
and they're counting on America to come save them when America's losing all these European allies. So we keep telling you, it's getting ready to be the America and the Israelis against the whole world. All right, and America's going to leave. America's going to get pulled into this fight that they don't want to fight. All right, because Trump's trying to make all these back alley deals and make money with America at the same time. He's pissing everybody the fuck off.
It's like
Right?
terrifying.
And while he's pissing everybody the fuck off, he got a loudmouth little brother who keep talking shit and starting fights. Who's gonna get him into a fight where he can't get out of?
Beautiful.
I had something real quick.
Bring it out, brother.
Jeremiah 50:12. Your mother shall be sore confounded. See that bear you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Also, Babylon will be destroyed. All right, and who is the mother of Britain? And all these nations will be ashamed, especially when they will turn on America and hate. Right? This is another thing.
Yeah.
Say a shameful steward upon the doing.
Yeah, because quietly as it's kept, Britain still has a big. Why do you think America celebrates the royal family so every year?
They still own America.
Because the Britons and Jerusalem too. Who you think set up? Who set up Israel? The Balfour Declaration.
Maybe it says something. It's a difference between being a citizen of District of Columbia and a citizen of America.
Well, District of Columbia is not really America. It's the District of Columbia. It's in America.
Oh, okay.
And so that's one of they. You got London, the District of Columbia, and I forget what the third one is.
Right.
Hey, but shit, even when you go into the word Israelite and Israeli, when you go into the dictionary and go into the word Israelite, it says a descendant of one of 12 tribes of the patriarchs of the children of Israel.
Right.
When you go to Israeli, it lets you know that it's a current day, modern day citizen of the state of Israel.
And they removed that definition from I can't find it anymore.
No, you can get it in the free dictionary. I'll send it to you.
Oh, okay,
I love
yeah,
that
because
shit.
I've been
Check it out
trying.
all the time.
I didn't try to Google. It used to pop up, but then
Oh,
now
no,
you got to hunt for it.
So the
Yeah.
break- so
You
the-
can change the algorithm.
You gotta use all everything.
So the British own
Gotta use what now?
So the British own this in Columbia.
Bro.
Okay. So the British own this in Columbia.
I would say Caucasian.
Read it out, brother. Pop it.
That's Ezekiel 38, Ezekiel 11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages.
Yeah, it is.
I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates.
That's America. Babylon.
Yeah.
Virgin daughter of Babylon.
America's an unguarded city.
That's it.
You know, you got a nation. It's a nation full of virgin women just walking around with the invading army, infiltrating force,
Bring it up, Pete.
and then ain't no walls.
Bring it up,
Right?
Pete.
They just walk right up to the front door.
Pearl Harbor was the inside.
All right. So that's how vulnerable America is.
Right. Yep. And I was just gonna say, they got a wall down the southern border. They can climb over, they can go under the wall, they can
Right.
go around the
Right, you go right around.
But it don't even. It's not even all the way across.
Exactly.
It's not even a full wall, man.
Yeah.
Right? How you go? You standing at the wall, guarding the wall, but then there's no.
Motherfucker go down 100
The wall
yards.
stops.
Motherfucker go down 100 yards.
Right.
Fuck you.
You only garden right here.
Right. Turn the cameras on. We're guarding.
Right.
Get these cameras of us guarding
That's
this
it.
wall,
That's all it is.
this
That,
incomplete wall.
that shit, that media shit, man. They show you what they want you to see.
And
man.
they ain't on the border. They people come get through.
Because in the old time, a kingdom
It's around.
You have to go straight through the right. There was one entrance, one out.
Right. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. They, if you watch those the Spartacus series,
Yeah.
they
The
showed
ancient
you.
cities.
It showed you every city that they went to. They had gates all the way around it.
And they had
You know?
mazes set up for when the enemies used to come in. They would already be waiting for them in the cut to be able to fucking
Yeah.
attack them, man.
Yeah, they always put them on low ground in the process of. So, like I said,
Sometimes they had double and triple walls.
Right. They
So they would actually catch them in between one.
right.
They would attack.
Put them in the kill zone.
They would fall back and let them have an area, and then that's where they wanted them to be.
You had the watchtower.
The
You had
the bigger cities,
Yeah, you had a watchtower. You had somebody literally watching out.
and even the smaller places. You know, when you had a smaller place, you still what they call
Let
the
'em
ramp.
in.
You had the ramparts.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
you know, you have
Yeah,
you had a fort. That America tried to mimic that in this beginning. You know, when they were building all the army forts on the frontier, they set up a square fort. All right, for the most part, with one or two ways in. All right, and then they with the high wall, you had guards on all the walls.
They weren't ready for the guerrilla warfare.
No.
The fucking
Right.
the so-called native
Now ain't for a
warfare.
bunch of Edomites that
That's
hang.
it.
Well,
hang
they still were trying to fight like they did in ancient Rome,
Right.
where they lined up side by side.
Motherfucker, pick their
You
ass
know,
up, man.
right? And so
Archers.
they figured out, after they dumbasses died,
Right.
by thousands,
Shit, though.
they realized that okay, that ain't gonna
This
work.
shit
no
ain't
more.
working no more.
He said, what was they at?
verse 12. It says, to take a spoil is to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited,
Okay.
and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land.
Right, and then you'll have some Americans fix their lips to say something to the effect, well, America's not going to be invaded because the citizens are too armed. Look, and the citizens going to be at each other's throat.
Right.
There's no camaraderie,
Purge.
there's no camaraderie. They go out right, and these Edomites going to be killing the shit out of each other, killing the shit out of each other.
It says,
Red-
"Friends shall fight like enemies."
You're gonna have
Traditional movement.
the blues versus the reds, the real gangbangers, the Republicans and the Democrats, and they're gonna be banging, and then both of them gonna be banging on the
Got
flag,
beef.
on the
Got
flag
beef.
piece.
Also, most
Right.
Americans only have pistols and shotguns because they're taking your rifles from you.
They're taking the shit.
And
Right?
and military armor is stopping 99% of your pistol ammo types. All right, and 99% of your fucking shotgun ammo types, except for slugs.
Right.
Slug is the only thing that'll get through that armor. The buckshot is gonna
it's gonna do minimum damage, and of course, birds trying ain't gonna do shit.
Goddamn.
Right. Yeah. When you talk about armored vehicles and shit, you know, your shotguns and your pistols ain't gonna help you. Yeah. When these guys roll up, or they come in lined up with them assault shields with the space for their weapon to stick out of it, just walk your ass down. All right.
Hey, Esau was gone. The wisdom of Teman is truly gone, man. Esau wisdom is gone. They take away the assault rifles. The whole reason why the Constitution even mentions you having weaponry, it tells you so you can have a militia.
And that's why those Southerners aren't giving up their shit.
Stand up to tyranny.
And a lot of these people in the Midwest either.
I'm holding on to
so,
my
so
Constitution.
the point being is though is even the ones who still have this shit, because I've seen some of the stuff that some of the rednecks and the crackers have in the South. They got miniguns and all kinds. Some of them got tanks and helicopters. They got shit, right? And they gonna put up a fight, but the problem is that they're not together.
Exactly.
It's not like if you had an invading force. Because America's too divided, they're gonna be too busy fighting each other.
And it's too few of y'all.
Right.
Again, they brought up in Congress how there's more Americans dying than being born again.
There you go.
And when they say America, talking about Esau,
Of course.
Right.
Just like when they was going to shit about the abortion, they was having a court and they won the case was overturned.
Yeah, that was a white problem.
She said this is a victory for white America.
Yeah, that's a white problem. Right, weak sperm, you know, because with all the attacks that's being done on the citizens of the world and on the citizens of America, and Jake is out here fucked up, but it seems that Esau is even worse because they're the one, because everybody else is still having babies. Right, and the white women that are having babies because they get impregnated by men of color.
Drink.
So, there it is, man.
Go ahead.
Get it out.
Collective. You know,
That's a lot because this dude told me years ago, it was like a long time. He said Mississippi. He said all the politicians. He said they old as hell up in the office and shit. Because usually, you know, Esau get he have his son take over and shit.
Yeah,
he got a bunch of old ass see down there running Mississippi.
Yeah,
I mean, because they sons, right? I was just gonna say, they sons is weak, effeminate.
You look, that's
gay, straight. You know, they, and that's another thing. Esau, that whole shit that Esau tried to propagate this shit to Jake. Yeah, Jake on the homosexual act. Yeah, but that shit really fucking Esau up, man. These Edomite men don't want no damn. They want their other men. They ain't trying to have babies.
because the truth of the matter is they're the ones that push that vibration around the world. All right, they brought that with them. You know, they were doing it to the slaves on the slave ships. They were doing it to them on the plantations. And smart. Matter of fact, it even turns out that the man whose name starts with an H, you know, World War II. That's what he was trying to get rid of all that out of his, out of his place.
Yep.
And so, and the people who owned all those businesses and were profiting from those businesses and those bars and the stuff, you know, was the JOOs. Yeah. So, you know, just saying it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I have precept.
Bring it out, brother.
It's Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. And Yahweh side in their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?
Right, so his kingdom cannot stand. And then when you think about it, that's been an issue. Why do you think that the man whose name started with the H during World War II, all right, who gets the bad, you know, rap, but you know, the facts ain't adding. You know, when you start really going deeper, digging into the research, you know, but you know, we're not going to open up that can of worms with these strikes, but you know, but the facts ain't facting, right? The math is not math.
The facts ain't factoring.
Right, the math is not mathing on the official stories that they told. But the problem being is that what he was trying to do was they have the same issue now. Edomites weren't having enough babies, and you know, and so he figured out, well, if he can get rid of all this other weird shit, bestiality, and all the corn, all the man on man action, he can make all that shit disappear, and maybe that people can start to grow. That's what this man's mindset. All right, and he got vilified and demonized for it by the people who were making money off of pushing that. All right, so just saying.
The same niggas on Pornhub learned debauchery in Germany.
There you go.
This is Isaiah 19.
Read on.
I'm gonna start at 1. The burden of Egypt Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set Egyptian against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. And that's what you're gonna see. That's why you see all this division going on, because the Lord is doing it.
It's going to happen here in Babylon. It's going to happen worldwide.
Right?
It says friends shall fight like enemies.
Yeah,
Right.
somebody grabbed that 2 Ezra 13 and 31.
Verse 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. You can clearly see that stuff. It said, and they shall no more, it said, and they shall seek to their idols and to their charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. Right? So this place is gone. The council is gone.
Right.
And your politicians, they through. Now you get, and that's why you see witchcraft at the fucking height of everything.
And it's not working anymore.
It's over with.
It's not working. It's not working anymore because even Esau is calling. I've seen so many videos on Instagram that came from TikTok. You know, you can just shoot it right over now. On them opening up the CERN. The Zaquan Yashawamba always talks about that. He brings that out a lot. But they showing you all the CERN and the demons and the rich. I even had a damn a chick send me a video. Edomite chick send me a video of watching when Netanyahu was throwing up symbols and shit with his fingers.
Oh yeah,
and right, he doing all that, and then a whole video of just the people throwing up all that stuff, and then the guy started talking about witchcraft, masonry, and and what's crazy is that this chick has always been pro-Israel. And all of a sudden, she sent me this video. I was like, man,
even her heart is broken.
So
yeah, place is through.
So Joel 27:15.
Yeah, it's so the division so bad. You got cities want to leave the Cook County.
Yeah,
like cities want to separate from other cities.
Yeah. And so when this thing goes down, these people are gonna be killing each other, and then they got a lot of especially out there going west in far west in Cook County when you going out toward Kankakee and all that shit. There's a lot of racist ass people out there.
Hey, I know about that jail out there.
Joliet, right?
Yeah, white side of Joliet. People forget about
Yeah,
that
you
part.
right. You got a whole KKK type vibration out there, man.
Country road.
I think one Texas trying to break off from the U.S.
Texas been trying to break off, and the last time they did it, 25 states were ready to join unto them. And that was when Obama came into office. They were trying to secede.
They got an open carry law too, so they said we ain't giving up ours. And they said you want to take.
Now you're gonna have, and that's the thing too. Texas actually could separate from America.
Could jump that off.
It could be autonomous because they got gold, they got oil.
they already got the gold.
They got gold and they got oil. So they already within their state constitution, they barter with gold and silver, as the Constitution says you're supposed to.
They got the little
So
notes.
so they're actually and like I said, they got oil and they got the sea right there. So they
The Gulf of America.
And another
thing, Texas said they ain't take the MOTV.
No, they ain't with none of that. So you're gonna have a lot of problems. And you best believe if Texas stands up, Tennessee, Mississippi, all them other southern states, they gonna join. And that's the thing. You're right, brother. And now a bunch of northern states are saying this time around they would. So basically, if you have a civil war, it won't be like the Civil War that happened before.
Right.
It's gonna be more states with the South now. You have northern states like Utah, Nevada, Montana, Nebraska. You got a lot of more states that want to join on with the South this time.
This is 2 Ezra 15 and 14. Right. Woe to the 2 Ezra 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draw nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another people, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among them, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
And really, it's the wicked that's engineering this whole situation to happen. so they can come in with their order at chaos, right? The order out of chaos. See,
That's what they're thinking, because them demons have been in their ear.
exactly,
And they like,
exactly,
Go set up this new world order.
exactly.
just like
The
that.
spirits have spoken.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Just like how the Lord set up, what's his name here on earth? No. The Israelite king set up. Saul? No. No, the one. No, who's at the? He's going to send the fall at Gilead.
Oh, you talking about?
Yeah. Right. He said he had the right. He said he sent forth the lion spirit. You know, he said he was like, who? All right. Basically, the Lord called a meeting and said, all right, which one of y'all gonna go down there and take care of this business down?
A bunch of angels like, I got it.
Right. And the Lord said, right. And the Lord said, well, you know, and he said, I will go forth and be a lion spirit.
And all his prophets.
So right. So that's what they lied to their prophets, and the prophets gonna lie to their boss. He said, right, and told him, and that's pretty much. He was like, so he said, am I gonna win this battle? Yeah, you got this.
Right.
Their think tanks.
Right.
Exactly.
See, now the funny thing is, when the Lord sent the real prophet to him and told him that the Lord's gonna jack him up, he didn't want to hear what he had to say.
He said, I told you,
Right.
Yeah, prophesy against me.
He keeps saying doom.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Lord says, well, have all his prophets say it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be a peace and separate.
You good? You're not gonna catch no fades. You giving out the fade, nigga. You won already. And that nigga went out there and got faded.
I got a scripture for y'all.
Painfully.
This is Sirach 20. I'm gonna start at about 9. There is a sinner that have good success in evil things, and there is a gain that turneth to loss. There is a gift that shall not profit thee, and there is a gift whose recompense is double. So this man is thinking that his program is moving along at the speed and the rate that he wants. In actuality, he's setting himself up for the okie doke. He can get smoked in a horrible way.
Right. And we mad because he ain't get it yet. You're like, come on, pull the trigger, man. Push the button.
Push the button. Set up the gallows.
That's it. Exactly. Come on, Haman. Mordecai. Come on, Haman. Try to kill Mordecai.
Old boss get the ass whooped. We get up. I'm all right, baby. Everybody look like, no, you ain't all right.
It's crazy. That scripture also proves, that the Lord controls everything.
Absolutely.
For one, he said, I'm gonna be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophet. So those spirits that's been dealing with them, niggas, he's like, look, I'm just gonna lie to them.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm
They
just
gonna
gonna lie
find
to
me
them.
anywhere. I've been telling them the
To
truth
show
all
you
this time.
that the Lord controls everything. You can't get around it.
It's a monthly process.
Right. The Lord control all that shit. Hey, the Lord controls this. Hey, look, the Lord like, go ahead. Let him. He want what?
And ye shall prove. And ye shall prove.
And the Lord sits on his throne and laughs at these things.
Hey, the scriptures say the Lord reign over the just and the unjust. Hey, the Lord, it's the power we dealing with. If the Lord, if you think he ain't pulling the strings, that's when he pulling the strings the most.
That's it. That's it. And that's what got these motherfucking so-called Christians and whatnot dumbfounded, because they want to think that the Lord is only doing the good shit.
Well, he's just love.
That's right. That's right.
Right. He's only love. You know.
You got something, Hop?
You still reading?
No, go ahead, brother.
This is Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High has put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High God shall be fulfilled.
What is some more on that you read earlier?
That was the point. You can keep going over. That was the point. This is the will of the Lord. The Lord's made it so America will rule with, which is Rome, will rule with its allies, the Europe nations, just like when Rome ruled. But the Burgundians and the Visigoths, the Gauls, etc.
Right.
It's the same thing now. But now the 10 is turning because the Lord said it was for a moment. Until it was time for now, which we're living in, for them to separate. And what's next? Them burning her with fire. All right.
I will like.
I got it right here. It says the Treaty of Rome, or the EEC, treaty was established for the European Economic Forum. It says the treaty was signed March 25th, 1957, by Belgium, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, West Germany, which, like it goes on into it was that old friendship that benefited them collectively.
Right.
Now that everybody's pockets are tight, now it don't matter. America first, whether it's the EU first, all right, because there was this the Edomite economist was basically he was going into. He's like, how is it that Italy's gonna pay back Germany and Germany's gonna pay back France and they're all collectively broke and they're all borrowing from each other? He said that's how you know this is a house of cards, because how can this nation be indebted to that nation when that nation is indebted to that nation and then America is trying to collect from them?
We would have healed Babylon.
So he's like, how's it going? But that's because the beast system benefit them collectively. And now that everybody's pocket is tight, now nobody believes in the game. Now everybody wants to flip the monopoly board because they're like, we all suck. You know, right? Because
And the back's full of bullshit.
That's prophecy, the 10 toes.
Yes,
This
sir.
is part of the clay.
I gotta get it.
Weak nations and the strong nations, man. And the clay, you know, when you go into the Hebrew word in Habakkuk 2.
I'm getting
I
it
got it
right
right
now.
here. I got it right here. Habakkuk 2:6.
I didn't want to
Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that laid himself with thick clay.
Right.
The
And
word
this-
for thick clay is isbatias.
I got you.
Which means heavy pledge is debt.
Yeah.
You know, it means a heavy pledge is debt.
Yeah.
All right, so
Ain't that something? You're gonna go and make yourself rich with everybody else's shit and still going to debt.
right.
Looking at us, dummy.
Right.
But that's why they have to lose dominion.
It goes back to that James 5, which you mentioned earlier.
Right.
Everything he's done is kept back by fraud. Everything he does is in a fraudulent manner. First of all, he took first of all, there was no such thing as paper motherfucking money until
Gold and silver.
and money was backed by gold and silver. The whole reason of having a gold coin and silver coin, because that was real wealth. And then they said, you know what? I'm not going to carry a whole bag full of coins when I need to make a transaction, get on the road and get robbed. They would have banknotes to reflect what you had in the bank.
But you could go to the bank and be.
And I still got it
I
in
know
my
you
wallet
got that.
upstairs. All right. It says silver certificate given to the bearer. Basically one silver dollar payable to the bearer on demand. All right.
That was the start of the scam right there.
There it is.
Somebody else got all the gold and silver, and you trusting in them.
plan.
Because that's already
Trust that
pre-got. You
paperwork.
trusting in them
Yeah.
that we're gonna honor this paper that you have.
Yeah. And
It
the
was a
whole
whole
time,
scheme.
they were jacking the gold.
And, and like,
And you know the JOO's was behind that.
and it's funny you said the way you did, because like I said, we reported on that for years and years and years and whatnot. And then I come across a cat out there that was a ticket agent out there at the airport, and everything we ever reported on, he had that fucking duty in Fort Knox. And we was having a conversation. I was like, man, you know, from what I've been able to study and understand this, that, and other, it's nothing there, I don't think. He said, you know what? He said, I had that motherfucking duty. You're right. We had nowhere near the amount of motherfucking people we needed. And when I walked a newbie through it, he's like, considering how much is supposed to be here, we ain't armed enough and we ain't this. And he said, that tells you what we got here. Show. Off top, I was like, oh shit. So everything we had reported on for years in advance,
Wow.
the Lord had me run into him, so that, like I said, with conviction, I can say that that's legit.
And that was back then. And that was back then.
That was back then.
So how much blessed shit is in there now?
As in 2001, the big story, even did put it in a movie about the whole trade scene, is that they went and robbed a whole bunch of pounds and thousands of pounds of gold that was already underneath it. That was the whole 9/11 was based on a whole robbery. All right. And then sort of after this, all these nations start popping up and say, yes, America, I would love my gold back. China got some gold back, and then they tested it.
Tungsten in the middle.
Yeah,
It was not gold.
no, they put gold on the top layer.
Yeah, on the top layer.
It was gold-plated tungsten.
Tungsten in it.
Yeah, man.
So
They put gold. So we gave some real gold bars. You know,
But
they started.
it wasn't
You
a
think they
layer.
were gonna test the ones on the bottom?
Hey,
All right.
they did that shit. They put that up there because tungsten still got the same fucking weight as gold, so they was able to layer the shit. And when I said, okay, each bar should weigh this, so they checked it. But when they was like, let's cut one. They cut one. They're like, what the fuck is this gray material in the middle of this shit?
Surprised ain't go to war.
I thought they should have. They should have. That's why we were so.
Yeah.
That's why we was ready to
Yeah,
fucking
right.
go.
We thought it
just
was
the
gonna
same.
go down. We thought, but somebody get second Ezra 13 and 31.
Somebody grab that.
I got it. This is
I got
Go ahead. And got you.
I was gonna say that's Proverbs 20:23, the first place of abomination.
yes.
That's why certain mythic coins they put notches on because the JOOs would actually shave them.
And then cut the weight on it. That's right, cut the weight. They would cut the weight. They made the coin lighter to cut the weight and made the coin.
So they would take those shavings and make it.
Exactly, but it was slight. So
Wow.
Yeah, they cut the ridges on it.
That's right. Wicked.
They some sneaky ass,
Hey,
dirty ass.
Hey,
He
what
was
is
sometimes any beast in the field.
a false weight is an abomination.
Hey, Elder, I just found out that the reason they were able to make the bagels was because they didn't trust the JOOs to make bread, so they would make them boil the fucking bread before they put it in the ovens, and that's how you get that bagel. That's how you get the breakdown, because they would make them JOOs boil the fucking bread because they didn't trust them because
They didn't trust the weight on it.
They didn't trust all the fees. Like basically they were
Oh,
unclean as hell.
damn. Okay,
So they would be like, hey, we'll
right.
let you borrow the oven, but make sure you boil your fucking bread before you throw it in there because they were known to be an unclean people.
But
That's how you get the bagels. That's how you get that. If you see the
They
bagel,
did it.
it's real tough on the
It's
outside,
tough.
but real soft on the inside.
Yeah.
The way they got that breakdown was because they would ask them to use the ovens. They wouldn't allow them. So they'd be like, well, we'll let you use the ovens, but boil that fucking bread first before you throw it in our ovens. And that's how you
so it would contaminate the oven.
I love it, baby.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. Like the whole breakdown is because they was unclean,
Bad
bro.
as fuck. One
I don't
bagel.
eat them. I don't eat
Listen
them.
to me.
Listen,
Listen to me. One bagel was like 6 pieces of bread. Bring it out, brother. Yeah. So you think
it had weight to it.
you got to bring it out, brother. Oh,
Hey,
Rocky was over.
yeah.
Okay, bring it out, brother.
This is second Ezra chapter 13, verse 31. It says, and one shall undertake to fight against another. One city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
And that's what's about to go down, because when this thing breaks out, it's not just in America. This is truly going to be
Worldwide.
That's right.
It's going to be a worldwide thing, because they're going to be fighting France, they're going to be fighting in Germany, they're going to be fighting in Czechoslovakia, in Sweden.
Third world.
It's going to be going down. They're going to be fighting all. They're going to be fighting all across. They're going to be fighting all across Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, right? Thailand. They're going to be out there unbocking each other to death. It's going to be crazy, man.
Right? It says it's the Lord that mustered the host of
Yeah.
the battle.
And you best believe whatever. And Esau is going to realize how small they are, because even though people are going to be going at each other, they're always going to make time and effort to get them, because they're looked at. The world is looking at them as the problem right now. They try to put Jake's face in there, but the world is looking at them as the problem. Somebody get Isaiah 29th chapter. I've been holding this all night. I got it. Bring out your definition, because we're gonna close on this one.
It's this is the definition of doom, right? This is doom. It says, I'm going to read two of them. It says, condemned to certain destruction or death, right? And that's pretty much America, right? It's the second one. Because you have an unfortunate and inescapable outcome.
Hey, well, even the rabbis will tell you that America is Esau.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he said that they're finished.
They finished.
Yeah. That's what he did.
Inescapable.
What you got, brother?
This one 29 to 7.
29. No, 15. Read 15 to 16. Then you go jump to 19.
This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 15. Woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord Yahweh, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth it? Who knoweth it?
The prophets, the men of the Lord. They said how the things that Esau searched out. All right. And through the spirit of the power of Yahweh Shem Shai, you've been found out, you've been exposed. And whether you want to admit it or not, we know you won't. But the whole world is onto you because of what the prophets have done.
We don't.
All right, since mainly, and I would boldly say, since the apostles of the great millstone and the men of the great millstone followed suit and started in 2007 on the internet. All right, you watched everything change. The whole world changed. You watched Jake go from wearing lineups to wearing beards because of us. All right, the beads, everything. Now everybody's ock now. All right, okay.
What's up, King? What's up, God?
Jake be checking for shovel teeth now.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I keep.
Well, we ain't talking about them. We
No,
we talking about the ones that say ock.
Yeah,
Right.
they still say
Okay. So, yeah, jump to verse 19, brother.
I
Did you read 16 yet? It's a lot.
Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as a potter's clay.
Yes.
Or shall the work say of him that made it, he maybe not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
Yeah, so Esau is stupid enough to think he's going to outsmart the Lord. Man. He really believes that he's outsmarting the Lord, that the Lord can't see what he's doing. They don't know. And we've already pointed you out, gave you the examples in the Bible, you know, on how the Lord sends the left-hand side angels, the evil messages, you know, to tell him to go do some stupid shit. And then Esau, dumbass, go do the stupid shit. Right? Okay, verse 19.
Isaiah 29:19. Said the meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel.
And we're doing that already. And the Lord hasn't even showed up yet. Because we're rejoicing in his word because we believe. Right now. And we know his words to be true because we've watched and we've seen things. And we've all, you know, we've seen things and we've done things. All right. We know that our power is real. All right. Right? Many chariots he sent over us.
Absolutely.
You know, and then we ask them, and then they, you know, ask them to show us a sign. They start changing shapes and lighting up lights. Yeah, yeah, man.
In that Daniel 10, what it said, ever since thou hast humbled thyself, I have came for thy words.
There it is.
What did Jake been prophesying? The downfall of America.
I ain't seen no Wi-Fi video with chariots over there.
No.
I ain't seen no Sakari videos with the chariots over there. I ain't seen no IUIC or INCK. I ain't seen no videos with them with the chariots.
Even when they were eating burgers and
or
fridges.
even angels showing up.
So just saying, all right. So them things that had Esau, you know, all of 2003 all spooked out.
We
love telling you about them the whole time.
That's right. And then mention all the groups you just mentioned. They all got lots and lots of men. Where all of them lots and lots of videos?
Yeah, what are videos? Right. I always see, you know, a video of IUIC marching.
I just saw another one.
You got 1,000 motherfuckers marching. And I'm like, where thousands of videos? Right, where are the edifying videos? Because them guys don't know the scriptures, man. Because the Lord is not dealing with them. Go ahead, continue.
Don't ask like that, church.
Verse 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught. For the terrible one is brought to naught. Isaiah 29:20. And the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. That make a man an offender for a word.
So that's the next thing they're gonna do too. But we already took somebody. Matter of fact, one last scripture after this. Pops, go to Isaiah 54.
Yes, 17. We just saw both guys sleep with these fake masters.
The Messianic ones, yeah.
Okay.
And that was right on cue too, because the day or two before that, Apostle Tahar was like, you know what? So then somebody asked, why they doing Jesus? Said, well, no, they deal with some Messianic ones and so forth. And right after that, they put up a video. You can't make this up in the spirit, man. The spirit do. If you watch the spirit, you'll learn a lot of things that people won't see because the Lord is communicating us things in the spirit.
Read that. No, you're gonna read it after this. Read, verse 21 again.
Verse 21. That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. So
that's exactly what they plan to do. You know, they're going to use their AI, their deep fakes, and they're going to try to demonize us. Or they're gonna, you know, they're gonna pick sound bites. They got enough of it. They're gonna pick sound bites. We all remember the most hateful group in the world,
Yeah, I
When
remember that
America.
video.
Oh, yeah, I remember that video.
They showed
Yeah,
you.
San
They showed San Francisco camp,
Absolutely.
and all they did was took samples of them, rebuking and
Chopped and screwed.
chopped it up, chopped and screwed. One right, all the history and the scriptures and the edification. They didn't show none of that. They just showed them telling the goop to go down the street.
Right.
You know, the fat lady, get away from us. You know, right? Get out of here, fat white lady. Whatever, you know, or whatever. They right.
That little
They
slim
just
bitch talking crazy.
they just showed, you know, all the clips of that and tried to demonize them.
Right.
But it's not gonna, and it had a complete
Shit
opposite.
backfired.
It backfired because it
Absolutely,
drew more people to watch the
And they
Israelites.
would have found
They
this
went to
video.
like, what the
Right?
fuck
And then they go find a video and see what really happened. So you know,
Police locked this fat lady up.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
remember that.
For assault.
Yeah, and that was the news media that tried to demonize.
Yeah.
All right, and it backfired on their ass. Because she got arrested for assault.
And because the brothers posted the whole video, which gave you the whole breakdown.
Exactly.
Right.
Go ahead and read 22 and 23, and then you're gonna read that Isaiah.
Yes, sir.
Verse 22. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob. Jacob,
Wait. Concerning who?
the house of Jacob.
So nobody else got nothing coming, man. All the other nations are going to captivity.
Yeah.
All right, for a millennium. All right, for a millennium, and then you get to go back to your original lands in Genesis the 10th chapter.
In
Right,
righteousness,
you get to go
understanding.
back. You get to go back to your lands, but because all of you stood by, helped, or participated, or
That's it.
benefited
You get smoked.
from our downfall and what we went through, and none of you stood up for us and helped us.
It says they claimed that
Guys,
that's the perfection of beauties. They laughed at it. It said that this is the day that we have hoped for and we have seen it.
That's right. Just for the record, Esau, Edom won't be part of that rebirth of the mother nature.
Oh, fuck no.
No,
I'm just making sure, just for people don't think something got mixed in the memo.
Nope, never.
Esau, Edom, after that
Obadiah.
1,000 years,
Smoked.
they're going to be eradicated.
1,000
yeah,
years.
that
hardcore.
1,000 years of slavery, that does not, that 1,000 years of slavery after when everyone goes home, that does, Esau's not a part of that.
Hey, Judah gets that land.
They're getting no mercy. All right,
Judah
that's
gets
what the
that
whole book of Obadiah is about. Go read it.
No lot.
All right, go ahead, brother.
It says, concerning the house of Jacob, Jacob shall not be now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale.
So all that
No
slandering
shame.
and lying is not going to work. All right, because no weapon formed against us is going to prosper. No, all right, read.
Okay, this is Isaiah 54 and 17. No weapon that is formed
That's
against
Esau.
thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh.
There it is, man. So everybody speaks against us, and the God just gave a testimony.
He said it's fine now.
Yeah, but still, you know, that's Esau doing that. That's the people right downtown in the West Loop,
Right?
that you know, at YouTube, at Google, right? Because
Turn
the
the
truth,
volume down.
because the truth is coming out, all right? Because people are going live all the time, all right? And that it always seems to happen to the Israelite videos.
Right. Especially when we get
The
on.
arrow was over here. I think the arrow was over here. I think when they flipped the camera, it hit the
Hit the mute button.
yeah. So it wasn't Esau.
Not this time.
Human error.
Hey. You in them fast.
Hey, what did
fast fingers.
the Elder Barra say? It's not always saying.
Not always
I'm still gonna play Esau.
Still blame Esau.
Right. He made some horrible ass technology, the little baby ass button.
Go on.
You don't understand real men dimensions.
They funny as hell.
This Proverbs 19 and 9. It says, a false witness shall not be unpunished. He that speaketh lies shall perish. False witness and lies. Right.
You know, and he gonna get destroyed for that, and then you know,
Recompense double.
it's gonna be bad for you, man. All right. Hey, so with that, man, we're gonna give all praises, all honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kakwai,
Kwam Yasharala,
Kwam Yasharala, above the ball.
Turn
Steal your
back
phone,
on.
Sell
Sell, Esau. Sell. Ain't no more selling it.